Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for attending today's presentation. We are from Group Clarivate. Today, we are going to present how the pandemic's COVID-19 impact on the global business services. Here is the names of presenters and respectively research companies. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about today's agendas. Begins with the objective of case studies and methodology, follows by the finding. Last is the conclusion, and we will end out the presentation with a Q&A session. It is well known that the COVID-19 has spread widely around the world, resulting in the implementation of significant governmental measures, such as lockdowns of manufacturing and logistics facilities. The virus and governmental measures have brought a lot of impact to the job opportunities and businesses, such as reductions in manufacturing, impacted on the global supply chains, and delayed the completion of certain products and services. The impact will become worse if there is no solutions to handle the operation during the pandemic. Moreover, the loss of revenue and the increase of unemployment rate will affect the economies and lead to the recession of the country. So, we are going to know how the companies will navigate in this current pandemic. Hence, we formulate three objectives for our case study. First is to figure out the impact of COVID-19 on the GBS. Second is to discuss how the companies respond to the COVID-19. And last objective is to find out a solution to help mitigating the business operation. We have included the recommendations and solutions in our paperwork. My teammates' letters will summarize how the pandemic impacts on the GBS in terms of business operation, business strategy and structure, financial management, talent management, and governance. We have used the information from interview, journal, and public science sessions to generate the findings and conclusion.
So I will present on the impact of COVID-19 in business operation. So we categorize into two impacts. The first impact is positive impact. Most of the company are implement working from home. So most of the company are able to reach their potential buyers during COVID-19. So besides that, some of the company get a huge global demand since the company are popular in the manufacturing product. For example, the customer for Cypress and Jebel are demanding on their production. And then we are going to working remotely has improved collaboration across functioning group. For example, in Motorola, the engineers ask local employees to perform their job on their behalf. They will build a good relationship between one department to another department. Finally, the logistic transaction managed remotely. For example, Ostrom are able to manage their logistic department by the manager are handling from another place and assign the third party for the shipment of goods. Next, we go to a second impact, that is negative impact. Firstly, the company may face a project delay. This is because some of the work are unable to work remotely. For Motorola, the engineer cannot go to their site to perform their work. Besides that, reduce in productivity. Working from home is a flexible time to work that may affect the staff feel unmotivated. For example, in Jebel, work from home has caused a bad effect to the significant decline in productivity, where around 10 to 15% decrease from the normal rate. The last impact is readiness and alignment on supplies deliveries and state. Due to Movement Controlling Order, MCO, the company are lack of readiness in preparing the supplies like laptop to the employee because the announcement are giving on the sudden.
COVID-19 has a huge impact on the business strategy and structure of GBS business. Firstly, GBS company is actively doing digital transformation in all possible aspects because COVID-19 has caused limited human mobility. So GBS company is trying to maximize the use of digital technology to reduce manpower. Next, COVID-19 has led to the business structure of GBS business begin to change virtually. For example, some activity like exhibition to promote and introduce their product to customer are no longer done physically to avoid huge gathering. So it is done virtually using existing technological advances. COVID-19 has also changed the work structure of GBS company, where they start to practice flexible working hour to make it easier for workers to work. In addition, they also allow work from home and reduce working hour during this pandemic. Lastly, GBS company also no longer conduct any physical meeting, including with client, to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19. So any meeting are done online because it is safer and easier. Next, we move to financial management. We want to see how far COVID-19 has impact in financial management for GBS business in Malaysia. We divide this financial impact into two parts, the impact in terms of revenue and expenses. First of all, the company's revenue increases as a result of increase in profitability. This is because the company received a very high demand during this COVID-19 pandemic in production, especially health equipment such as masks, gloves, and PPE. However, the profitability of GBS company has also experienced a decrease in demand for some industry, such as the production of car parts that face less demand during this pandemic. Next, financial impact in expenses for GBS company. GBS company also struggle to maintain existing expenses during this academic downturn, such as salary, rent that has to be paid even though the business is not in very good during this pandemic. In addition, GBS company also has to pay new expenses in the provision of health equipment to employees such as masks, sanitizer, PPE, and many more to prevent the spread of COVID-19 while working.
During COVID-19 pandemic, the GBS companies may have problems with their talent management and talent recruitment. As an alternative way, these companies seek good talent through virtual recruitment and training because they found it hard in doing face-to-face interview for recruit and doing training for new employers during CMCO period. They also face problem on losing good and skilled employees in the relevant industry nowadays. As a countermeasure, these companies also seek help from the talent agency. However, they need to pay a huge amount of money in order to find good talents of candidates. Moving on towards the next slide is in the aspect of governance. The company may have problem of holding the company's annual general meeting, which is known as AGM. Some employees may also request for extended leave. Therefore, the company needs to install cleaning equipment. Furthermore, the company is also not hiring expatriates in IT section to reduce business risks. This is because pandemic impact on the other countries might hinder their expansion and the growth of business. Thank you.
In conclusion, pandemic COVID-19 has affected GBS businesses differently depending on the industry and business nature of the GBS company. There are positive and also negative impact to the business. From the research that have been done by our group, we can conclude that pandemic COVID-19 has forced GBS business to work from home and run their business virtually. This has given flexibility to the employees. However, in certain GBS company, work from home has given negative impact to the company where it has reduced the employees' productivity level. They also need to do virtual training and virtual recruitment during pandemic COVID-19. Some GBS company need to extend leave for their employee and facing difficulties to hold the company's annual general meeting. This pandemic also might hinder expansion and growth of GBS company. COVID-19 has slightly impacted the business structure and strategy of GBS company, where they need to transform their business operation into digital as everything needs to be done virtually. Pandemic COVID-19 has increased the operating costs and budget on health equipment, and some of the GBS company are facing low demand and declining sales performance. That's all from our group. Thank you for your attention.